Welcome to Merida Mexico. In this video, I'm going to take you with me on a bike ride to explore 3 different types of neighborhoods that you have to see to get a good idea about what it's really like here in Merida, Yucatan. There's a lot of focus on the rich history here in Merida. There's also a lot of talk of the many new developments here in the Yucatan. But what's it actually like when you grab your helmet and you head out the door? Right now, we are just cruising through the neighborhood of Montes De Ame. It's a very nice, modern, upscale neighborhood here in Merida, here on the north side, where I'm going to be showing you around. I'm also going to show you a park where I'm going to tell you something pretty interesting about my experience here integrating in the neighborhoods. As of right now, enjoy. Neighborhood you'll find is very quiet. The streets are wide, not as many dogs running around, and because we are within the city limits of Merida, there's tons of stuff all around this neighborhood. For restaurants, shopping, and such. The one thing about this neighborhood is everything is pretty spread out, so if you don't have a car, you might find it difficult to walk around to everything. But if you want to live in a really nice house, in a nice neighborhood, nice quiet neighborhood, then this might be a good choice for you. Something you'll notice here in Mexico, especially if you're from the USA, is that a lot of the businesses here are found right in the houses in the neighborhoods. I used to think before I came to Mexico that would mean that it would always be a smaller operation, maybe a dentist or a barber with one chair in a house. While that could be the case, it's not uncommon to see a house turned into a big stylish office with state-of-the-art equipment in it. So here we are, Parque Montes De Ame. So you'll actually find a park like this in each neighborhood in Merida, sometimes 2. And this one's great because it's been redone recently. So a bunch of really cool modern stuff here. I love the workout equipment. So now that we're at the park, I want to tell you a little bit about my experience integrating here in the neighborhoods. Something I get asked quite frequently is, Sebastian, do you live in an expat enclave or an expat cove with a bunch of other expats? If that's something you might have thought as well, it might shock you to find out that it's actually quite diverse here in the neighborhoods of Merida, and at least where I live. But really, I don't even know of any specific gringolandias where you can go and, not deal with being here in Mexico. I mean, my experience is just like it was in the United States. There's a ton of diversity here within the neighborhoods. I mean, there's there is people who come from the United States and other countries, even more so that come from within here in Mexico. There's local Yucatecans that speak Spanish, and there's even local Yucatecans where their first language isn't Spanish and it's Mayan. Come on, I'll show you. Like if we take a look at this sign right here, for example, probably won't be able to read it, but you can get a good idea of what Yucatec Mayan looks like. And it's not just that sign. Like for example, if you go to the Museo de Maya or the Mayan Museum, you'll find that everything they have is transcribed in English, Spanish, and Mayan, so people can learn about their own culture. Next, I'm going to show you a super local neighborhood. You might find some chickens running around. But first, I want to show you something really cool. now we have reached Parque Xcumpich. So this neighborhood that we're in right now is called Xcumpich, and you might not recognize that from your Spanish class. In Mayan, it means place of the enchanted tree. So we're gonna go around this neighborhood, I'm gonna show you around, and we're gonna see if we can find that enchanted tree. This tree definitely has wow factor, but it's not the enchanted tree. But it might give you something fruitful. Those are pitaya fruit, or dragon fruit, as you might know them as. And when it's the right season, they start popping out. This neighborhood is super interesting because it's centered around this hacienda, which you'll find hundreds of these throughout the Yucatan, but this one in particular is a centerpiece for the neighborhood. You can actually go in, I don't know if you can go in, you can actually go around it, so let's check it out. And it looks like we found the enchanted tree, except we didn't. The enchanted tree of Xcumpich was actually out in front of the hacienda, and I heard that sadly that it was cut down. So in its place there is another tree, appears to be growing, but it looks like this is the same kind of tree. It seems like a crazy tree straight out of a fairy tale, so the first time I saw it I thought for sure this has to be the tree, but you know, at least we could say we found an enchanted tree of Xcumpich. So the next neighborhood that I'm going to show you, Francisco de Montejo. Never going to be too far from restaurants, grocery stores, and I'm even going to show you a really cool way that you can get away from the hustle and bustle of the city and check out the natural landscape of the Yucatan. Check out these buses just left in this field. I think they're always here. They're just, I don't know what's going on. It's some buses. Francisco de Montejo is similar to Montes De Ame, where you're going to find modern houses in a residential style neighborhood, and it's also really large. But the thing about Francisco de Montejo is it has busy streets running through it, so you're never going to be far from restaurants or grocery stores. This is a grocery store, in case you're wondering, super Aki. It's kind of a medium-sized, supermarket-style grocery store. Should I do it? Let me know in the comments if you want to see a full Parque Lineal video. That's what it's called, the bike path / park that goes along the whole length of Merida. Let me know in the comments if that's something you want to see. I'll go ahead and do the whole thing. And it's kind of a choose your own adventure here, because you have the regular bike path, you have this sidewalk that pretty much goes the whole time along with it, or you have a more natural terrain, more of a natural Yucatecan off-road type terrain, if you will. There's also a lot of stuff scattered throughout, like an auditorium. There's open-air gyms and a skate park down at the other end. Keep in mind, everyone, that this is all my perspective as some dude who's lived here less than 2 years. A huge thanks, big heart emoji to everybody who has subscribed so far. And what did you think about this video? Did you like visiting some of the neighborhoods? Let me know in the comments below. And if you want to come with me on more adventures, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Otherwise, give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down to let me know how you feel. At this point, I'm just trying to crank out videos as fast as I can, and I can't wait to see you next time.